The four weapons of Krishna or Vishnu seems to relate to the four elements. The chakram is the third similar to pentacle, earth. The lotus is water. Lotuses are grow in the water and also have a formation a bit like a cup. Then let's see what other weapons does he have. The conch is air, which is interesting because the conches, they have special names, and I think they call upon certain powers, which is very, particular to, like, the mind, and also kind of reminds me of mantras. The conch is itself a mantra, almost. Very interesting. Forget what the fourth weapon is, but I guess it would have to then relate to fire. I should do an ET tarot, and the elements will be platonic solids, and it'll be like it would be like Rosicrucian symbolism mixed with like platonic symbolism mixed with like ETs, of course, and then it'll be really ultimate seeming, and it'll be made in 3D with a mist of materials. So you kind of lose a little bit of that uncanny valley feeling, but keep it in this. Also have the uncanny valley, like it's a very particular uncanny valley feeling of 3D. And then, it would just be bizarre. It'd be really bizarre. And then different, it could be like the major arcana, it could be some of the major, like, ET races that are way out there and not very materialized, such as us Arcturians. And then, as you get to the minor arcana, it's then, getting more and more crystallized until, like, you get to, like, for example, the Japanese are like Arcturians here, you know what I mean? Or, like, Slavs are like Pleiadians, or, etc., etc. And you could have, like, a down-stepping type thing. So it could be, like, Pleiadians, or it could be Slavs, Venusians, Pleiadians, Lyrians, and it could step out like that. That'd be really, really cool. I could connect it to a bunch of things. I've also been feeling making a tarot deck that's like, having more than 4 suits. For example, you could have a 5th suit for ether, even though that almost doesn't make sense because, air and ether are practically the same. That's not totally true, but that's why prana yoga works, is because ether and air are practically the same thing. Like when you're doing prana, you're actually manipulating ether because the air is so freely containing of the ether. It's practically... The ether is air. What is air? It's very free, it's free moving, it's a very light material. Like, earth holds all the elements within it, right, in a very dense way, but air isn't dense. So there's, like, a lot of complexity there. Like, the heart space and the mind can manipulate the air very directly, magically, Like, that's part of the point of manifestation. And then, but I think you can do, like, the Vedic 8 elements, which there's ego, which intelligence, and some stuff like that. The thing is, there's a few... This is one of the realms where I don't really think Vedic is powerful enough, because, I don't really think Vedic is powerful enough on this front. Or rather, I think the translation is bad for me. Like, okay, ego is an element, but what does that mean? Probably it's explained in some sutra really nicely, but I think understanding it some of the more obtuse things in Hinduism, it's crazy because to understand the obtuse things in Western esotericism, I need to learn Hinduism. But now I'm wondering, like, some of the more obtuse things in Hinduism, I'm having to know Western esotericism to understand them. Although they probably all say the same thing. Yeah, but like, it could be 8 elements, or it could even be, instead of elements, you could do, I could do primordial colors, because primordial colors are elements in a different sense. Because the 4 elements is like the 4 states of things, right? So that makes a certain statement. Yeah, primordial colors, though, it's like, it's not the state of it, it's the actual intrinsic energy of it. This is where planetary magic, like, what is it, elemental magic, like the pentagram, banishing earth, and this is just coming to me now, banishing earth keeps things from manifesting. So if there's like problematic things energetically, it forces you to deal with them energetically because it's preventing them from manifesting. That's part of how it works. Wow. The LBRP. But planetary is more like, it's no longer about the state of things, it's about the color of it. Oh wow, that's really interesting. So between planets and elements, you're controlling states and natures, states and energies. Because, okay, what's the density, the frequency, the movement of the energy, but what is actually its color? What is its content? Hence why planets are about knowledge, because they're a content, and that content produces a color. And there's dimensions to it, and it can express itself through different elemental states. Because the elements are like states of matter. Oh, wow. Getting something here.